Call Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakachodash. That's who this world ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Ancient Hebrew tongue. Double honors to the elders and apostles across the four corners of the earth that's pushing this truth and sincerity. We know that truth lives with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Here to give a quick sit down, man, on I got this video I'm gonna present. It's about how Russia, BRICS, first and foremost, which is Brazil, Russia, China, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, man. They formed, and I believe it was 2005 or 9, somewhere around there, man. And, they've been becoming stronger ever since, man. And this is gonna they came together to basically bring down the U.S. dollar, man, to counter the Western finances, Western institutions, far as American and NATO, they want to counter it, they want to counter the U.S. dollar, and hey, they're becoming very successful, man, and the dollar's falling very quick, man. And it's not on the mainstream news or nothing, but the dollar is getting ready to crash very soon, man. And this is what they're not telling the people. They're not warning the people about the dollar's going to crash real soon. Nah, they're not finna tell the people, man. And it's going to happen overnight. It's gonna happen overnight. It's gonna be, man. It could be on a Friday when everybody expecting their paycheck, man. You waking up that Friday, nothing deposit. You're gonna be looking like banks closed. You waking up trying to go to the bank, banks closed, everything closed. It's gonna get a breaking news, But I own no rights to this video. It's all for educational purposes only. Fair use, fair use, fair use. But I'm going to get into it, man. I'm going to bring out a couple precepts as well.
Putin announced this week that Russia will begin using the Chinese yuan for international payments instead of the dollar. Saudi Arabia is also in talks with Beijing to do the same thing.
You see that? They're all using the yuan, man. That's crazy, man. They're no longer using the dollar. So so the American dollar is not backed by gold. They took it off the gold standard during President Nixon. Okay? It's backed by oil. And what these devils do is, now what they've been doing is going to these countries trying to get their oil. Okay, for instance, like Venezuela. It's not no coincidence why America want to go over there and control and deal with Venezuela. Basically over there and try to make war with them, because why? They want to take their oil, man. This man is losing his grip. He don't have the oil, so now he's low on resources. So now he wants to go to Venezuela, steal their oil. But hey, China said they gonna intervene with that. So now this devil back is against the wall, man.
Speaking of Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, they're in talks with Iran as well to consider an economic alliance with China and Russia. And they can even be joining the BRIC countries, which is an acronym for these countries here: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These countries all have emerging economies. So what happens if our economy and the U.S. dollar are no longer the world's dominant currency? Former Assistant Treasury Secretary and host of the Monica Crowley podcast, Monica Crowley, is here to weigh in. Monica, great to see you this morning. Let's start right there. What happens if these emerging economies move away from the U.S. dollar towards the Chinese yuan?
Well, good morning, Will. It's great to be with you. And it's really hard to overstate exactly how catastrophic the abandonment of the U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil...
Strength and economic power is crazy. You know what that is? That's their military. That's them going to go bully and going to go take resources. That's their strength, economic power. Okay? See how these devils use words, you know, to bypass their wickedness? See that shit? But you gotta have the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah to discern shit like that, man. You know what I mean? These devils ain't did nothing but rape, rob, and murder, man. Steal resources, man. Which they trying to do with Venezuela right now, but hey, these other countries ain't allowing it. BRICS. Sulak. But yeah, China's not allowing it, man, you know? But Salak, let's get right into it. But you have to understand, man, you know, the US dollar has been a global currency, man. And you know, when that falls, man, it's gonna be a lot of shit that's gonna fall behind it, man. A lot of shit that's gonna fall behind it. A lot, man. And something's going to have to be ushered in to back up that paperback global currency. Something's going to have to be ushered in. And it's going to be Revelations 13. That's what they're getting ready for, man.
Has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there is a perfect storm happening. The strength and economic power of the United States.
Yeah, why not?
The U.S. dollar would be as the world's global reserve currency. Look, since the end of World War II, the dollar has been the safe place to go, and it's been backed up by a couple of things. It originally was backed up by gold, but President Nixon took us off the gold standard, so there's no hard asset backing up the dollar anymore for the last 50 years. But also it's been backed up by the strength and economic power of the United States and the fact that oil has always been traded in dollars. If that were to end, that would mean the end of the U.S. dollar. Look, there is a perfect storm happening right now, Will. The world's reserve currency, being that, having that status has been a real privilege, but we've abused the privilege by wholly reckless monetary and fiscal policies over many years, certainly over the last couple of years, which has really devalued the dollar. On top of that, now you do have this perfect storm of Biden's weakness, his war on American domestic energy production, the Ukraine war, and as you point out, because of all of these things, we've got America's enemies led by China forming a new economic bloc. And all it would take at this point now, because we're at this pivotal moment, Will, is for Saudi Arabia, who has indicated that they're open to this, to say, you know what, we're going to be open to considering other currencies to trade in oil. If that were to happen, there would be a complete implosion of the global economic system, but certainly the American economic system. And if that were to happen, you'd be looking at sky-high inflation, just raging Weimar Republic kind of inflation. If you think inflation is bad now, just wait. But more importantly, we would lose our economic dominance and we would lose our superpower status.
Monica, the world's reserve currency, you said it's a privilege for the United States for the dollar to have been the world's currency. What How does that relate to each individual American? How has that changed or impacted or improved our lives throughout the last several decades?
Yeah, I mean, it's given the United States incredible dominance in the world in terms of the economic system and in terms of trade. It's kept prices down. So whether it's energy prices, whether it's your food prices, the entire global economic system is reliant on the safe and secure dollar. But that is no longer true, again, because we've been printing money like crazy and devalued the power of the dollar and the value of the dollar. But on top of it now, again, oil is the critical linchpin of this. If Saudi Arabia decides to join with America's enemies here and start...
That's right, I told you. The dollar is not backed by gold, it's backed by oil. So once all these countries stop using the dollar to purchase oil, the US dollar is no good. The dollar will be no good. And how else would the US get their oil if these other countries are not using the US dollar? So therefore, that'll put these devils here in America, that will put them in a lose-lose situation, man. You know? So what would this devil have to do? He will have to go to these other countries and strong arm. You know? Forgot what that bitch called it. The devil bitch just said something crazy. I forgot what she called it, but that's what they would do. The term that she used, you know? They're going to go over there and strong arm and get that oil so they can keep it. Or really, they just going to the point just bullying oil now, just getting oil because the dollar, nobody's going to purchase the oil with the dollar bill anymore, man. None of them. But you know, when this dollar do drop, it's gonna really cause hell towards you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. It really is.
Trading oil in different currencies, that is going to undermine the entire global economic system. And currencies, oil is the critical linchpin of this.
That's right. Hold on.
Down. So whether it's energy prices, whether it's your food prices, the entire global economic system is reliant on the safe and secure dollar. But that is no longer true, again, because we've been printing money like crazy and devalued the power of the dollar and the value of the dollar. But on top of it now, again, oil is the critical linchpin of this. If Saudi Arabia decides to join with America's enemies here and start trading oil in different currencies, that is going to undermine the entire global economic system. And here at home, you know what it's going to mean for us? It's going to mean raging inflation, so much worse than anything we have ever experienced, Will. And I'll tell you, they're setting it up.
They setting it up. I'm telling you, hey, y'all about to see inflation like no other, man. Like no other, man. I'm telling you, man, when this dollar, hey, you about to see some crazy inflation. Some states is already seeing it, you know? Seeing meats for $80 to $100, some is already seeing it. You know, but when it hit here, it's going to hit.
So that they can then come to the rescue by introducing central bank digital currencies. If they were to do that, and the United States already has a pilot program, that means the loss of your individual economic freedom, because the government will have total access and control of everything you buy and sell, and the ability to turn it off like that.
Ominous warning. I hear you. Saudi Arabia is the tipping point. Oil trading in dollars is the tipping point.
She's right. She's right. Because what's that going to lead to? Hey, a world digital currency. And it's going to lead to y'all, to so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians suffering greatly. You know? The Lord talks about it, man. Let me bring out a couple precepts, man. You know, This is I'm gonna go to the book of Ezekiel. Chapter 7. I'm gonna start at verse 15. Yeah, matter of fact, no, let me go to Jeremiah, Slot. Let me go to Jeremiah, get a precept. Because the Lord is going to allow this to happen. You know, it's all through his word. Because this will be the fall of this man's rulership. The beginning of it, man. You know, that's all we're seeing right now is the beginning of the fall of the so-called white nation, man. Okay? This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 4. But, you know, y'all going to realize when these events happen, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all out there, and everybody who out there talking about, oh, you know, Dame don't know who he talking, Dame don't know what he talking about. This nigga just sitting up there, this hooting hollering, he don't know what the hell he talking about. Hey, cool. Believe what you want, say what you want, man. You know, you have the right to do that, man. But that's not going to change the word of the Lord, you know. But in that day, y'all going to know that the Lord's word was true. And he sent his prophet. He sent his prophets, man. You know, starting with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. This is Jeremiah chapter 50. I'm going to start at verse 4. In those days, in that time, saith Yahweh, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek Yahweh their power. And when the Lord allow all this shit to crash, man, y'all gonna be looking for us, man. That's who the Lord said. Y'all gonna be seeking and looking for Yahweh their power. Yeah, Jesus is not going to save you in that time. That name is not going to save you. The Lord sent his prophets, and we've been telling y'all his true name and what's going on, but y'all don't believe, you know? So y'all going to do whatever, you know, y'all need to when this dollar crash carnally in your own way. You know, whether it's pick up a gun or a knife or try to go rob somebody for food or you know, go steal water, whatever. You know, it's going to be resources that's going to be needed in that time. From soap to shampoo to whatever, man. You know, it's going to get like that. Verse 5. They shall ask the way of Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come, and let us join ourselves to Yahweh in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Verse 6. Yeah, y'all gonna try to run up and look for the prophets in that day, man. Y'all gonna be looking for, oh man, they was right, man. It is these white folks crazy. When this man started allowing this military to just do whatever he want in these streets, man, y'all gonna realize, man. And this military basically is gonna do what he want when this dollar crash. You know, when this dollar crash, man, people are gonna be bugged the fuck out, man. A lot of shit is gonna happen, man. You're gonna see a lot of things live in 3D. But this verse 6, because our people have forgotten the covenant. You know, today we tell our people, we trying to tell our people that, look, we are the children of the covenant, man. You know, that the Lord promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know, we are the seed of them. You know, but they have forgotten. They think the covenant is for everybody, when that's a damn lie. Verse 6, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray, man. And that's right, man. You got camps out. You got people in truth that don't know the truth. Or that's been blessed with some of this wisdom. Think they in truth, you know? But you got Jakes that's heading these camps, leading sheep astray as well. Let alone these pastors, let alone these damn pastors, man. These pastors, these pastors got to go. They got to go, man. It says, they have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place, man. And when it says from going to mountain to hill, that's trusting in these governments. You know, these mountains can be considered as governments, high places. You know, the education system, colleges. You know, the Section 8 food stamps. You know, they have trust in all these mountains, man. You know, everything that Esau bring forth, our people have trust in. They have forgot their resting place, which is who? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah. You have to know the name of the Lord to receive to know the resting place, man. And his name is Yahweh Shah. It's not Jesus, man. No, we're going astray. You know? This is let me go back. Let me grab you Ezekiel 7, and I'm gonna start at 15 through 15 to 21, 15 to 21, Salat. Yeah, man, you know, because, you know, in that time, man, it's going to be a lot of things happening, man. The Lord is going to, you know, can you imagine the global currency dropping, man? If you can't imagine it, you better start imagining it real. You better start imagining it real soon, and what you're going to do and what resources you think you need to get by. You know, this is Ezekiel 7 and 15. It says, the sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. But they that escape of them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valley, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity, man. See that? So the Lord is describing, like, you know, look, if you escape the sword, which is Esau, you know, you will have to go through pestilence and famine and pestilence, man, meaning starvation, lack of food, and diseases, which we see is coming real soon. They got a new COVID coming, another new disease coming, man. Forgot what it's called. I seen the article of it, but didn't really get into it. I was on the move. But yeah, something new coming, man. I had to go back and check it. Something new coming. And how this devil gonna know something new coming if he don't make it and put it out? You know? This is it's crazy, man. Nobody questions it. Now everybody, oh yeah, but you know it's that new disease out. Well, who put it out? Who did it? It's all through the Lord, though. It's all through Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shah. And it says, and they shall be on the mountains like doves of the valley. See that? Okay, you know how there's a mountain You know, and you got doves sitting on top of the peak of that mountain, man. You know, like they're just trying to hover up there, like stay up there and hover up there, man. He said that's how people gonna be, man, running from sick people, trying to get away from sickness, man. You know? And all of them mourning everyone for his iniquity, man. Y'all gonna know in that time, man, the Lord is gonna allow y'all to know that, look, this is me doing this, man. There's no other power but me. Verse 17. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water, man. You know, you niggas gonna be fucking through, man. Verse 18. They shall all gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them. And shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. Verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord, of Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their soul, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity, man. And that's what the Lord is going to do when he allow BRICS, you know, to interfere with this global currency that's been rising real fast, man. You know? And the Lord says they shall cast a silver. What is that? That's money, man. You know? It's going to be worthless in that time, man. It says, as for the beauty of his ornaments, he has set in the majesty, but they made the images of their abomination and of their detestable things therein. Therefore I have set it far from them, and I will give it into the hands of the strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. Verse 22. And who is he talking to? He's talking about the land. But he's talking about, Ezekiel is explaining that the Lord is going to go into the land defile because Israel has defiled the land, man. And he's going to give it to strangers. But this is double fold as well, because why? I told you the land is a people before it's a place in most texts in the Bible, man. So the Lord is going to do that the same way as the land to the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians that's across the four corners of the earth, man. You know, he's getting ready to judge the nation of Israel. He's going to judge the nation of Israel through his wrath. You know, when this dollar drop, that's judgment coming towards the nation of Israel. It says, verse 22, my face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place, for the robber shall enter into it and defile it, man. So, hey, when the Lord allow all this shit to go down, man, he is going to turn his face from 2/3 of his own people. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Indians, a lot of y'all prayers ain't gonna be heard, man. That Jesus gonna be dead, man. You know? The Lord ain't gonna be hearing that, man. The Lord ain't gonna be dealing with that. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, call on the name of Jesus in that day. See what my Lord do. Let me get another precept. It's gonna turn a lot of people in that time, even your friends, man. You know, a storehouse is going to shut down. This is 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. See? So, hey, you know, when this dollar do drop, man, yeah, they gonna close these stores and shut this shit down, man, because people are gonna be trying to loot for resources, man. You know? It's not going to be a game. This is verse 24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours shall not run. See, so the Lord is explaining, like, man, you know, look, man, people are going to be crazy against each other in that day. You done known somebody for 20 years, man, the Lord going to have them turn on you because you won't give them food, man. Because you ain't got enough to give them food or give them some resources that they may need. Because why? It may be only enough to provide for you and your household. Verse 25. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Verse 26. And the men that receive shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth. And the heart of the inhabitations shall change and turn into another meaning. See that? So, man, look, man, the Lord said, look, if we escape his wrath, man, we shall see his salvation. And the only ones that's going to see that is the elect and the 1/3 of Israel, man. You know? So, hey, man, y'all better get right, man, and come to this truth, man. Come to y'all power. And that's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, man. You know, with that, I'm going to end it, man.